Say here. Welcome to our second episode of Ask Arena. So a week ago you guys sent in some really great questions about our goggles, and so we're going to answer a couple of those today. So let's jump into it. The first question we got was, what's the difference between these goggles? So I've got 4 goggles here. We've got the Cobra Ultras, the Cobra Cores, the Python, and the Trax. So we're going to just start from the top. So these are the Cobra Ultras. You can see that they've got a really nice blade-like shape. They're kind of slanted around the sides and on the front just to keep it as close to your face as possible. You'll notice it's got this stabilizing bar right here just to keep them from flipping up as you're diving in the water. It's got this dual head strap for extra stability. And one thing that actually a lot of people don't know about is these goggles come with 5 different nose pieces. So that's what these things are when you open the package. So some of you might know exactly what they are. But from the factory, it comes with the most common size nose piece, and this is actually very important when fitting into your goggles. So the first thing you do when you get a new pair of goggles is you want to try on the different nose pieces to see which is best for you, because we all have different size heads and just different shapes in our faces and that sort of thing. So that's the Cobra Ultra. So we're going to move on to the Cobra Core. You can see it looks very similar to the Cobra Ultra. It's got the same lens shape, the same dual strap. It also comes with the 5 nose bridges, but you'll notice it doesn't have that stabilizing bar here. It's just the strap. One thing you'll also notice, I don't know if you can see, it's got a slightly deeper socket than the Cobra Ultras. Here, I'll maybe put them up together. You can see that the Cobra Ultras are a little bit shallower, so they come a little bit closer to your face. These ones have a little bit more room in the lenses. So some people may say that their eyelashes touch the inside of the Cobra Ultras. So if they do that and that bothers you, the Cobra Cores are a great alternative to that. I think that's it with the Cobra family that we've got here. Let's move on to the Python. So these are great. They can be used for training or racing. They've got also a really lovely curved lens that gives you great lateral vision. And also the gasket sits on the outside of your eye socket, so that makes it really comfortable when you're in the water. Those are the Pythons. Lastly, we have the Trax. So these are great training goggles, great for everyday use. They have a really soft gasket here, so it just makes them really comfortable, and they're just really good for just swimming and practice every day. You know, just really great training goggles. Cool. All right, so that's kind of the difference between these 4 goggles here. So the next question that we got a lot from you guys is, how do you keep these goggles clean? How do you take care of them? So after every use, you want to make sure that you rinse out your goggles with cold, clean water just to get the chlorine out, and then you want to air dry the goggles. You don't want to wipe them out with the inside of your, like with the towel, or don't touch them with your fingers. Just try to avoid touching the inside with anything, and that will just help preserve that anti-fog. Leading into that, we've got questions of, why do my goggles keep fogging up? Why does the anti-fog keep wearing off? So from the factory, our goggles come coated with an anti-fog solution, so that's why it's always great to open a new pair of goggles. But like the oils in your skin and saliva from your tongue break down that anti-fog solution and it makes it wear away. So we recommend that you keep your fingers out of the inside of your goggles. Don't wipe them, after or in the middle of your set. Don't lick your goggles or spit them or anything like that. That will make the anti-fog wear away. So when and if it does wear away, we've actually got this great instant spray and swim solution. So it's really easy. All you got to do is just squirt one in each lens, each goggle, and you're good to go. One thing I will say is our swimmers have told us that after you spray this guy, keep the goggles on your head. Don't dip them in the water, because that will wash this away and you'll have to spray it again. But it's a great way to keep those fogs or keep your goggles from fogging up. Let's see, what was the next question? Difference between training and racing goggles. So to be honest, it's really personal preference. The Cobra family are great for racing. That's what they're made for. And generally when you're racing, you want a lower profile goggles so that the water will slide easily past your face. But really, it's personal preference, whatever you're comfortable with. And there's also a couple questions that came through is how do you keep these goggles from slipping off? So again, the stabilizing bar in the Cobra Ultras helps with that. But you want to make sure that you wear your goggles as tightly as possible without feeling uncomfortable. And also wearing a cap over your goggles when you race also helps keep them on. One thing I will say is our Cobra family, these guys here, they have a really great suction gasket here, so you don't have to wear them quite as tight as you may think. It should stick really well to your eye sockets. The last question that a bunch of you asked is, do we have any more colors coming out? Do we have any new styles? So guys, we're constantly coming out with new colors. We're in the middle of our spring-summer 19 season right now, and so you should be expecting some new colors coming out in our goggles later in the fall. And we also got some really exciting things coming through in our goggles, so really cool things coming. You guys got to keep an eye out for that. You'll be very impressed. So other than that, that's all we've got time for today. So be sure to tune in next month for our next Ask Arena. We'll be sending out information on that. And other than that, have a good day. Bye, guys.